In Pesantren, what I see as what is so specific of Pesantren is the combination of the tariqah or Sufism. It's the inner side of the religion that is dealing with spirituality. The esoteric dimension of the religion is maintained there through practices of praying together, reciting prayer, and getting together in congregation, praying. That is the esoteric, um, promoting the spirituality. But on the other side, pesantren is also known for its strength in maintaining the Islamic law, the so-called fiqh or sharia, which is the legal dimension dealing with what is allowable and what is not allowable. So this combination, the esoteric from within yourself, from within your soul, your heart, the spirituality, and the exoteric, which is imposed from outside, that's the law, combined, becoming a strength of the strength of the pesantren. In Pesantren, we have the motto or the credo, keeping the good from the past and taking the better from the current and from the present and the future. That is the challenge of Pesantren now. As a religious, not just a religious education institution, actually, it's also the center for social development, for community development, because Pesantren uh, comes into existence because of the need from the society around the Pesantren. So serving the community is the mission of the Pesantren. So it's a religious education and also social center.
One of Rahima's strategy is dealing with the pesantren and socializing gender equality. So we try to make a system that the teachers, the kiai nyai, they can insert the gender sensitive issues through the lessons they have to give to their students. So we try to explore the religious teaching that is promote women's rights. Maybe we find several surah in Al-Quran, like Al-Hujurat number 13. In Surah Al-Hujurat is mentioned like this: O mankind, we create you from man and woman, and we create you to several tribes and nations, so you can try to understand each other, you can help each other, you can learn each other, and the best of you is who have the quality life among you. So God does not discriminate men and women. He look that men and women are equal, and he believes that the best of human being is who have the quality of living.
I'm lucky to have a father and mother. They were religious leaders, but they were very moderate and progressive, and they gave freedom to us, both girls and boys, to choose our own career path. So I combine theology and anthropology, and go back now getting involved in working for Pesantren, Islamic boarding schools, with new perspectives. You have to look at the religion in a dynamic way, as a living religion, and that's what my father taught me. And you, even if you maintain the tradition, it doesn't mean that you are left behind. Women's empowerment is an obligation for the husband. If you believe in Surah An-Nisa, verse number 34, that is Ar-Rijalu Qawwamuna 'ala Nisa, that men are maintainers of women. It means that men are also supposed to empower women. And this is exemplified by my father. My father and mother, they got married when my mother was very young, and she didn't have the chance to get education. She got married very young, and at the age of 13 she had already the first son. But then my mother ended up as a parliament member, a politician, a member of the constituante, and also the first women's judge in the Sharia court. So you might wonder, how can a girl who got married at 13, I think 14 she had a baby, and never went to school for education, and she could become a judge, a women's judge, the first women's judge. And that's because of the education from my father. My father was also a judge himself, and he was a professor of theology, um, uh, and he taught my mother from A to Z, from reading the Quran, reading Latin alphabets, up to fiqh and laws, and he taught her himself. And then in 1948, my father opened a school for girls in our village. Back in 1948, when there was no school for girls at that time, most schools were for boys and in Pesantren. And my father opened a school for girls called Madrasatul Banat. Madrasah means school, Banat means girls. Because he said that pursuing knowledge is obligatory for both girls and boys, for every Muslim and Muslimah. But what is interesting is how he managed, how he tricked the culture at that time. In 1948, everything was segregated. Men and women cannot get together. So my father, a man, he wanted to teach girls, including my mother and her friends. And the culture at that time did not allow men to be in one room and facing girls. So what he did was he wrote something on the board, and he taught my mother, and then they would push this outside the screen, and my mother would teach her friends. That's how they managed to overcome the barrier, cultural barrier.
When I went to United States, some people thought that Islam was terrorists. So I learned like Islam didn't teach us like that. Islam teach us togetherness, and then love, and then patience for other people. So Islam is not like not like what they think.